I'm Ben Dubard. I'm the Organic Farm Manager for WP Rawl and Sons in Peoria, South Carolina. Cover crops are a crop that we grow that we have no intention of harvesting or is not used for sale for harvesting or eating. It's a crop that's grown mostly for its benefits to the farm, to the soil, to the environment, and it's not something that we make any money on. It's a conservation method. Well, on a windy day like today, as you can see my hair blowing around, I guess, a cover crop like the one behind me here is going to help with soil erosion by wind. When we have heavy rains, it also helps to keep the soil eroding from the flow of the water. Specific uses for soil fertility would be that these cover crops like this cereal rye cover crop behind me here is going to have very deep roots. It's going to capture nutrients that maybe have gone lower down in the soil, and those deep roots are going to pick them up and carry them back to the surface so that we can recycle them again. Things like potassium are going to be able to be scavenged from the soil and brought back up for use for one of our cash crops. It's going to add carbon to the soil. So carbon is a major component of the humus building process and organic matter in the soil, which has other benefits like helping to hold water in the soil. And some cover crops, such as legumes like clover, can, through a symbiotic relationship with a rhizobial bacteria, soil-dwelling bacteria, one that lives in the roots of that clover, can take nitrogen out of the air and put it into the soil for future cash crops. So those are the main benefits of cover crops. One I glossed over was beneficial insects also can find refuge in a cover crop or a food source, and it can help beneficial insects have a place on the farm where they can go to reproduce and hide and get shelter. Generally speaking, with cover crops, ourselves and many other farms are going to grow them during a non-crop producing time of the year. So for our operations here in Peoria, we generally grow during the winter when we're not actively harvesting or growing very many crops, and also in the middle of the summer when our greens tend not to grow as well and our production is shifted to other farms in our operation. So basically the winter and the summer are times for us to grow cover crops here in South Carolina. Well, if we weren't to plant cover crops, I expect that we would see a lot more wind erosion of the soil and erosion by rainfall from flowing water. We would see a greater need for fertilizer. Our fertilizer wouldn't get, recycled by those roots scavenging of those cover crops and bringing those nutrients back up to the surface. We would see most likely greater pest pressure in a lot of our crops. So there would be numerous negative consequences if we opted not to grow cover crops. Oh, I don't know. I like them a lot. They're fun to play with. I think we do a mix of a sorghum sun hemp cover crop in the summertime, and it is got that legume in it that harvests that nitrogen out of the air. So it's a fun one to play around with. So I do like growing cover crops, and we're consistently in all of our operations looking for ways we can make our already successful system even better.